Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and others who shall remain nameless. You know who you are, and you know that I love you all. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, so as I was saying, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Oh, and it is apparently a beautiful day. I'm hoping to get a few things done today. Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Yes, hopeful. Oh, buying a home is complicated and exhausting and expensive. In the short term, it's expensive. In the long term, it's actually cheaper than renting. It is cheaper than renting, so there is that. But it's the initial outlay that's the killer. Yeah, the initial outlay is the killer. So yeah. Also, don't buy a new home. Don't buy a brand new home. Buy something old. I mean, this house was built in 1907. So it's 119 years old. Yeah, it's an old house and it's really solid and it'll still be here in another 118 years. Whereas if you buy a brand new house, in 20 years it'll be bulldozed because the subdivision will have collapsed under its own shoddy construction using substandard materials in buildings that are deliberately designed to disintegrate after a decade, by which time the contracting company will have long since folded and been submerged into its parent company, given a new name, and sent out to do the exact same thing again several times over. Yeah. So you can't even go after the bastards who built the shitty house that you're living in. All you can do is try to maintain it until the final collapse. And the planned obsolescence is getting so bad that they're now starting to plan for houses that collapse after 10 years, not 20. There was a time not that long ago when they decided to make them collapse after 30 years instead of 100. Yeah, I remember that. That was the 80s. That was bad. Yeah, that was really, really, really bad. Yeah. I'm glad I'm living in a house that was built before the First World War, before the Great War. Yes, before the Great War. This isn't just wartime housing, this is pre-war, pre-First World War. This is a good house, it's a nice house. It has its problems, but it's a very lovely house and it's very comfortable. And I mean, I put down $57,000 deposit to get it. Damn, that was a struggle to get that much money together. Yeah. I had to call in a lot of favors. I had to ask a lot of friends for help. I had to ask my mother to help. Yeah. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I had to ask my mother to help. It was hard, but I managed it. And now I'm living in a house that technically I own, although actually it's the bank that still owns it. The bank still hypothetically owns it because, yeah, I haven't paid off the mortgage yet, but it's a 30-year mortgage, so yeah. Damn it, I'm gonna be 90. Oh, bloody hell, I'm gonna be 90 before I get to actually say it's mine completely free and clear. Bloody hell. So that's what happens when you start old. Everything gets delayed. But then again, I am Generation X, and we are the generation that got fucked over. Yeah, we inherited all those promises that were made to our boomer parents. But unlike our parents, the delivery didn't come through for us. It didn't happen. And yeah, baby boomers believed that they had made themselves, that they were self-made, when in fact they had inherited the post-war economic boom that gave them the ability to buy really big houses, like obscenely big houses. You should have seen the increase in house sizes between about 1970 and 1990. House sizes went through the roof. And that was partially the baby boomers and partially their parents, the war generation. Yeah. Yeah. It was scary, the house size increase. It was really fucking scary. Yeah. And if you've ever watched an episode of The Brady Bunch, and I know that's an old TV show from the 60s, that, yeah, it was a fun show, but it showed an idealized version of American suburbia, painfully white, with a comfortably lower middle class servant named Alice, who was the maid who took care of all the chores, while the Brady family went about their lives being very happy people with no real concerns in the world. And that was how the 60s saw itself, how the 50s saw itself, even as they were building houses that were designed to fall apart very soon afterwards. Yeah. Yeah. The golden age of conspicuous consumption and ridiculously oversized housing. Yeah. Well, as you can see, I'm a huge fan of living in the backyard. I am a huge fan of living in the backyard. I love the backyard. I love my backyard. I do. I really do. I love my backyard. It's huge, it's spacious, it's comfortable. This is the living area. This is definitely the living area. Yeah. That's how we're going to do this. This is the living area. Absolutely. Yeah. But, yeah. Oh, wow. So what is our topic today? I don't think we even have a topic. I think I'm just meandering happily. Yeah. I'm hoping it's going to be a good day. I really am. I'm hoping it's going to be a good day. I'd like that. I would like that. Okay. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm looking at doing some housework and doing some yard work and maybe doing some cement work. I don't know. But, yeah. Some things that need to be done, some things that need to be finished. And, yeah. Yeah, the joys of home ownership. There's nobody you can call in and say, hey, this needs to be fixed. Of course, even when I was a renting tenant, I was the guy who fixed things myself and didn't bother the landlord that much. When they did the inspections in my apartment, they were always surprised by all the modifications I had made. I put shelving units that were anchored into the walls. I rerouted some wires. I actually moved an outlet that needed to be moved because it was in a horrible location. And yeah, I tried to install a internal ceiling light in the top of the living room. That didn't work. I was on the top floor and my ceiling was drywall glued directly to a thick concrete pad. Yeah, didn't stop me from trying though. Yeah. Yeah. So that's me and construction materials. Power tools. Yes. I love power tools. I also love hand tools, though. I love doing things the old-fashioned way. I love doing things exactly the way my ancestors did hundreds of years ago, with hand tools. Hand saws, hand chisels, hammers, mallets, hand drills. I own these tools. I love these tools. I cherish them. And yeah, that's one of the things that separates me from a lot of people. A lot of people love their modern technology. I see it as, yes, it's a tool, but I don't love it the way that they do. I love the more traditional tools, tools that, yeah, the tools that our ancestors had and used and that I've inherited. Yeah, I love those tools. Those are simple, honest tools. And I'm not going to complain about them. I mean, why would I? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So anyway. Oh, God. I have to get ready for the big events that are happening this month. A lot of my friends are part of a community that has their celebration this month. It's a big celebration. There's also another community who has a big celebration this month on the 19th. Some of my other friends will be celebrating Juneteenth. Juneteenth, yeah. Juneteenth. And that's a very important day as well for some of my friends. I'm not 100% sure what my ancestors get. We don't seem to get much. The Métis, we don't really get noticed. Powwows happen, but they're sporadic and scattered all over the place, and that will happen in July and August and September. Yeah. And I'm going to miss the local powwow because I do the folk festival right over here that's just 2 blocks away from me. Yeah, 2 blocks. I'm 2 blocks away from Kelso Beach where they have summer folk every year. I'm happy. You can't see it, but there's a turkey vulture circling over the front yard. I have a funny feeling that something died out there. No, it's over the house. I hope one of my housemates didn't die. Really. I like my housemates. I do. I really like them, and I hope that the turkey vulture up there is not indicative of a tragedy. Yeah, well. Oh, now he's moving on. He's going looking for something else. I do like turkey vultures. I do. I really do. They are beautiful birds. Don't stand too close to them, though, because they smell terrible. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we have ravens, and we have cowbirds. We have cowbirds and grackles. We have robins. We have a lot of robins. We have mourning doves. We have crows. We have squirrels and chipmunks who are fighting a constant war against each other, which is the only reason that they have not taken over the world. And we have skunks, and we have raccoons. I've seen the raccoons. I haven't seen the skunks, but I've heard about them. I've heard them. Skunks make a funny sound when they're complaining about the lack of good garbage being put out. Yeah. Raccoons just trash things. They're very, very aggressive about trashing things. We have raccoons. We have to be very careful about our garbage. We have to basically bolt it down. Everything is raccoon-proof around here. Those fuckers are clever. They're smart. Yeah, so anywho, yeah. So between the raccoons, the skunks, the squirrels, the chipmunks, the bunnies, we have bunnies. I've seen the bunnies. I've seen the young bunnies. They're growing up. They're going to start having their babies in another month or so, I think. Yeah. 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 Yeah, bunnies are fast. They're fun. They're very fast. Unfortunately, they're not faster than an SUV, as you would quickly determine when you walk along the street out front, because, yeah, a lot of them get hit, unfortunately. Yeah, that's all very sad and tragic. I don't like that. I don't like SUVs either. I don't like oversized trucks very much. I'm not fond of them. Yeah. They're really just way too big. And it really is the car companies trying to make an extra hefty profit off people who aren't terribly confident in what they've got down there. So they need to overcompensate. So the car companies have made these gigantic oversized pickup trucks for suburban commuters. I mean, the Pavement Princess. The pickup truck that will never see a toolbox, will never see a sheet of drywall, will never see a hay bale or a bag of seed grain. Yeah. The pickup truck that is purely decorative and purely meant to take up as much space as is humanly possible for somebody who is quite certain, and possibly quite right, that they're a little short supplied down there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, the Pavement Princess. Yeah. 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 For all the men out there with disappointed wives. Yeah. 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 You gotta prove you're a real man somehow. Yeah. Get an oversized pickup truck that costs $100,000. And that you insist that someday you're going to use it to haul something, somewhere, somehow. Someday. Yeah. Someday. The luxury pickup truck. Isn't that kind of an internal self-contradiction? I mean, seriously. It's a pickup truck, it should be a working vehicle. Yeah. But it takes up 2 parking spaces. Yeah. 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 Takes up the whole lane on the freeway when you're commuting to the office. Yeah. And it's really good for running over squirrels and bunnies and turtles. Oh, and the chipmunks are out. Yeah. Yeah. It's also good for running over the neighbor's kids by accident. Yeah. Yeah, that's the modern suburban commuter pickup truck. Yeah. Yeah, I'd mock it more, but it basically mocks itself. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, happy Pride Month, and when it comes, happy Juneteenth. I know that's not for 11 more days. Yeah, 11 more days till Juneteenth. Juneteenth. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah. So anywho, that's all the senseless meandering I feel like doing today. I might do more senseless meandering later when I go fishing in the afternoon. I might go fishing in the afternoon. I'd like that. I live 2 blocks from a river. No, 3 blocks from a river. 2 blocks from a park that has a beach. And if you walk another quarter of a mile through the park, you'll arrive at the break wall that surrounds the marina, and you can fish along the outer edge of that. I have great fishing up here. I have great fishing. Oh, I need to do more fishing. Absolutely. Anywho, as I said, love yous all. Take care. Be well. Stay safe, everybody. Stay very, very safe out there. Oh, yeah. Because it's a dangerous world. It's full of scammers and spammers and door-to-door salesmen and Temu ads. Ew, Temu ads. I hate Temu ads. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. But don't be afraid of your neighbors. I mean, your LGBTQ neighbors, your Jamaican neighbors, your Sikh neighbors, your Arab neighbors, your Hindu, Buddhist, Zoroastrian, Muslim neighbors, your Jewish neighbors, as long as they're not Zionists, they're fine, really. Even your MAGA neighbors aren't really all that dangerous, some of them. Some of them are actually genuinely nice people. They're just ignorant as dirt. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, look in on your neighbors, check up on your neighbors. If you live in a community that has no sense of community, i.e. a modern American suburb, carefully go door to door because you probably have neighbors with machine guns. And invite everybody to a barbecue party. Host a barbecue party. Insist that everybody has to bring something. Make it a potluck event. And you just set up your barbecue or barbecues in the front yard and have everybody over and cook frantically. Yeah. That's something that I intend to be doing this summer at some point. Neighborhood barbecue parties. Yeah. We can do that in Canada. I wish that our American neighbors to the south could do that, but unfortunately, as I said, neighbors have machine guns and a tendency to use them on anybody that dares to step onto their front lawn. It's an American thing, I know. I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Please try to understand that your neighbor is not your enemy. Really, he's not your enemy. Even if his skin is a slightly darker tone than yours, your neighbor is not your enemy. Really. Your neighbor is not your enemy. So I guess that's what I really wanted to get to. Your neighbor is not your enemy. Your neighbor is your friend. And if you haven't met your neighbors, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to meet them. And if you're an American, go through very slowly and carefully because, yes, Americans don't just own guns, they worship them. Yeah. Yeah. So yes, be very careful. But yeah, once you're there, once you've invited your neighbors over for a garden party, a barbecue party, yes, a barbecue party. Once you've got your neighbors over for a barbecue party, suggest that some of them might host further down the road. And make it even more of a community event so that, yeah, one week it's the Joneses, the next week it's the Smiths, the next week it's the Rubensteins, and the next week it's the Rajeshes, and the next week it's the Laufangs, and the next week it's the Haddads, and the next week it's the Olfenbachs. Yeah. And the next week it's the Vasquezes. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. And at some point you will absolutely get around to the Ubanka family, and they will host. And I'm sure they will have something absolutely delicious too. Yes. I have tried West African cuisine and I've tried East African cuisine, and they're both quite delicious. You should check them out. Yeah. Okay. Anywho, your neighbor is not your enemy. So get to know your neighbor. Meet your neighbor. And as I said, if you're an American, do so carefully because there's a good chance that your neighbor probably has a machine gun pointed at the front yard. Yeah. Yeah. I don't hate Americans, but I do feel sorry for them. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Don't forget to mock people who drive oversized luxury pickup trucks in town to go to the office as a suburban commuting vehicle. Don't forget to mock them hard because they deserve it. Okay. Ta-ta, love yous all. Bye.